What is going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another quarantine episode, and with a surprised but sickly guest for multiple reasons. But we'll definitely get into that. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Eric, the Instigator. Got Gat, aka John, or John, aka Gat, however you want to call him. Nick, what is up, my man? How are you?
Not too much. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. And Les Smug, who's less sick today. I'm sorry, Les Smug. How are you? We miss you. We love you. We're happy you're here with us today. And even through these troubling times, you are still here with us. And we hope you get better and everybody is safe out there. And we know we weren't here this past Thursday, but we wish you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. Hopefully you did not get sick like my man did over here. And if you did, stay safe, stay isolated, wear a mask, do all that good stuff.
Yo, I remember during I think it was the exact day before actual lockdown in March, and it was like you and Edgar. It was like lávate las manos, lavate el culo. And there you go.
Wash your hands, wash your ass, boy. Yeah, so we just stay clean. But good thing we have football to kind of keep us entertained now that you're going to be isolated, or you're going to be locked in your garage the next, I don't know, 5 days maybe?
10 days.
10 days. Well, look, you're going to have football to watch, so you're going to enjoy it.
Not the way shit's getting postponed left and right.
I know, man. That sucks. And a lot of postponements that did happen again this past weekend and going into this game week as well that we're experiencing right now. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to kind of catch up with you guys. Gat, how was your holidays? I did spend it with Nick and Edgar. So how were your holidays?
It was good. It was a small affair. It usually is in my house, so it was only about 5 or 6 of us. But yeah, it was fun.
That's the way it should be, actually, and especially in these times, with everything going on. But did Santa get you anything nice?
Technically, yeah, I got the Oculus that we've been talking about. That was supposed to be my Christmas gift. I did get so watch out.
Oh, some SS. That's not to be brought up on the podcast, but we'll pretend that was never mentioned.
Please bleep that out. Bleep that out.
Bleep. Marco, when you get to, if you're listening here, Marco, or when you listen back to this, make sure you bleep that part out because that's SS. Cat, you already broke the number one rule, so I'm gonna have to double check your application and I'll bring it to the board meeting. And
that's fine. I'll return.
Okay. All right, but let's get into the game. Nick, Marco's gonna hate you, man. He said please don't turn off the camera, so he's gonna get really mad at you. Just letting you know. You got a big consequence. No, you're good now, but
he did it on purpose.
I think I went to his text to see what he said.
Yeah. Okay, he gave me a thumbs up, meaning he heard me loud and clear. Awesome. So, before we get into all the games, I did want to mention something. I completely forgot what it was because that sidetracked me. Fuck. What was it? Oh yeah. If you want to watch us, if you want to continue to listen to us, you can do so on all the platforms, all that good stuff. All of our social handles are going to be down below in the description. We appreciate any following, direct message, any suggestions. If you want to come share your voice, it's all greatly appreciated. If reviews and comments on the podcast, it helps us out a lot. So we really appreciate all that as well. And I think we are good to get into the podcast. Are y'all ready to talk about some footy? I don't know. I mean, you guys.
Yes.
These guys just
let's do it.
Edgar's like getting me I feel bad for him right now. I feel like
I'm so excited to talk about how Leicester kicked our ass. Thank you.
Let's do it. I'm not whistling on me, so that'll suffice for now. Game week 19 started this past weekend. We're gonna kick it off with Spurs, Crystal Palace. Spurs, who came off a long break, came back with some vengeance and put 3 past Crystal Palace, although they were without Vieira due to COVID. Nick, are you starting to see the Conte's affecting or positively affecting Spurs and their gameplay? Hey, supposed to come inside.
I don't know, dude. It looks the same to me. Yeah, I'm not really getting moved by it, to be honest. Not yet. Maybe in a couple games, maybe a couple weeks. But in terms of overall style and how they play, I'm not really getting moved by it, to be honest. Which is kind of Spurs just don't have that many good players, to be honest. Yeah, Davinson Sanchez.
So
Eric
because the
Dyer,
games
pretty decent under him, but
because the games are happening so back and forth right now, like they just played what one's that Saturday and they played again today. If I'm not mistaken, right? Saturday or Sunday? I forget when they played. But regardless, they just played against Southampton and they drew that game. And Southampton had 10 men on the field for the complete second half.
Yeah.
Gat, you're clapping. Talk to me.
Oh no, I'm just glad they did because I like to troll Josue as much as I can. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they probably should have won. I think that Kane goal was probably onside.
Yeah. Did he score that one? Oh wait, the one with the VAR.
he scored it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they ruled it.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they brought it back.
for a team to have 10 players, all they did was play a low block. Obviously, that's the only choice they really had to do. Spurs still couldn't break them down. They're missing that creative player that could unlock the defense, but with three in the back, that Conte style, like you never get that cam, and which is the point that Nick has always been making. Edgar, do you feel like Spurs are the right team to be making the challenge for the fourth place, or is
Not
it
even close, man? Like right now, the only goal Harry Kane had was a penalty kick. And yeah, it takes a lot to put in penalties, but has he created anything else? Okay, he got the offside goal. Big fucking whoop. Son is really the only one that might do something, but if you can't beat a 10-man Southampton, then I mean, or even create too many chances, like they're done. Like they're not gonna get top 4.
so?
Yeah, I think Nick really hit the nail on the head where they don't really look different. I think for me the only difference is just their formation. I mean, they don't have that many good players. It's still a team that, Harry Kane is still playing too deep and he's supposed to be your guy, whether it's England or Spurs, he's your guy, but it's turning into like the Sun show and he can't do it all himself.
Real quick though, like when you guys see the lineups, there's multiple games at the same time, and you see Spurs against anybody. Is that the game you want to watch? Like honestly, I was more excited about Watford and West Ham.
Oh my God, yeah, I was too. But I had a fantasy
Right?
stake in that, so that's my answer.
That's a good point. At the end of the day, that as a fan, the test that we always want to pass first is the eye test. And if we don't pass the eye test, why do we want to watch the game, right? So that's a good point. I mean, there isn't that big player there besides Harry Kane or Humane Son. There isn't that like that attraction to watch them play. Now their style of play isn't attractive. The players the names aren't like really appealing besides the two that I just mentioned. So yeah, maybe there's a lot more problems deeper within that kind of gloss over the best squad that they really have. So
So since we're on Spurs, I've been thinking about this the past couple days. Every now and then enters my mind. With Heung-min Son, I 100% am convinced that if he played in any great team, any good team in the 2000s era, he would be one of the best players in our generation. I'm 100% convinced.
2000s?
In the 2000s era. If he
but
he
you can say that
played,
about anybody.
I guess so, but
I'm saying, like, I would say that now.
Yeah.
You put him in a Liverpool, in a Man City.
Yeah.
Fuck it, even Manchester United, he'd be considered one of the greats in the league.
But I think with nostalgia bias, he'd be maybe applauded more. I just think he'd fucking kill it. And back then, just like he's 2-footed, he's so direct, can play anywhere. Yeah.
I mean, he's like both Penny, you said he carries Spurs for the most part, but yeah, Spurs. They won this past weekend. They drew today against Southampton, against a 10-man Southampton. Dropped some points. As an Arsenal fan, I'm happy about that because that gives us a little bit extra cushion. We're not out of the clear yet. They still have enough games in hand to still leapfrog us. So we'll keep an eye out for that. The next game was Norwich Arsenal 5-0. This, as an Arsenal, I don't know, man, because I was ecstatic about this result, and I always want to, be realistic and look at the opposition that we're playing. And it's Norwich City. They're second to last place in the league right now. But then I look at how they played against Manchester United, and Manchester United made them look like fucking prime Barcelona. And as a big club, as a Liverpool, as a Man City, as a Chelsea, when you play these lower opposition, no offense to them, but these lower opposition teams, you want to beat them 5-0, 4-0. You want to make sure there's no room for mistakes. And I think that's what we're starting to see with Arsenal again, because if you look at the past results, they have been a 5-0, four goals, 3 goals. We've been scoring a lot of goals on these lower oppositions, and it's not something that we're used to seeing from Arsenal, at least as of recent history. So I'm seeing a positive trajectory. I'm excited from what I'm as an Arsenal fan. I texted Nick earlier this. As an Arsenal fan, I'm beyond ecstatic because you see how young these players are, and if they continue playing together and growing together, it's only gonna get better. Like there's no, I don't see any negative outcome from that. But as from the outside looking in, how do you guys see Arsenal progressing this season? Do you think this is just like a purple patch on a good form, and then once we face Man City, Liverpool, and Spurs, it's all gonna crumble down again? Or do you think that this is like a good time where Arsenal can continue their good form and make a real push for the top 4? Because I think this is where it's going to come down to these next couple games.
No, you guys, if you guys make top 5, there's a very good chance you're going to lose all your players over the summer. Because everybody's going to get bought out. All the good ones that got you there. Saka's going to go. Ben White possibly. Ramsey's going to get sold. Like someone's going to go and buy him out.
I can't take you serious right now. I can't take you serious
right
now. That escalated really quickly.
I can't take you serious because we just brought them in this season. That makes no sense why we would get rid of them.
No, but what I'm saying is that you guys got to get top 4. That's really what it comes down to. Because if you don't get top 4, that means another season with no Champions League. And the players that you're developing now will get their heads turned. You know what I mean? So you have this season and maybe one more season to not get top 4. And then after that, you got to start getting top 4 regularly. Otherwise, you're going to start losing players.
How long did it take Klopp to get the Champions League with Liverpool?
3 years. Or
so
2
why wouldn't these young players? Well, I'm not saying Arteta he hasn't bought the rights, but why would you say that when you have Champions League is what if they have Europa for 3 years but there's progress there? Why wouldn't it be kind of weird to say that after 1 year they're gonna leave? They want to leave already. When you see Liverpool, they did it for 3 years and they built on top of that.
Yeah, but if you saw the players, they got, the team that got them into Champions League was not great players. There were some good players there, but they weren't ones that were going to get their heads turned. They're playing above their standard. You know what I mean? And right now, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is it Arteta that's really making them play better than they are, or are they really that good? Like Saka's looking like fucking good, man.
Oh, dude, he's blown up recently. But no, that's a fair question. Nick, I'll real quick to you. What do you think about that? Edgar brought up a good point. Do you think it's Arteta just coaching or finding the right system for these players, or are the players punching above their weight class and carrying Arteta?
Well, I don't want to base it off this game because it is Norwich.
Not this game, but recent form. Look at the season right now.
Arteta was going to get fired. Arteta was going to get fired. Like
I didn't want to break this out because I hate these specific kind of stats. But if you just to kind of give you some context, if you look at from Christmas last year till Christmas this year, Manchester City and Arsenal are the 2 teams that have reached the most points since then. So, I know we can't base it off. Half a season last year, half a season this year. No, well, I'm basing it off of from when Arteta started. The positive turnaround until this year where we are now. The only team that have gotten more points from Arsenal above Arsenal are Man City at this point. So
you guys had a lot of space for improvement. You had a lot of room for improvement.
A lot. But the points don't lie.
I guess.
Points don't lie at the end of the day. You got to get the wins, right?
I guess.
The 3 points are 3 points, regardless if it's a 1-0 or a 5-0. So I don't want to say it's a recent run of form because I think we've been in a good run of form since last year, since Christmas last year. Yeah, the first 3 games were a fluke. I've already given you guys my case on that. We were COVID ridden. We couldn't get the game back because we were the first game of the opening season. And we didn't have our players yet. We just didn't. We didn't have Tomiyasu. We didn't have Gabriel Ben White, who were already a partnership, and Tierney, who was injured. Odegaard, it was it was a moment to build the team, but I wouldn't say it's a recent run of form. I think it's been progress. I just don't know if it's something that is going to be momentarily, or like I said, is this next run of fixtures, is this going to kind of, I guess, be our 2 steps back that we don't want to see?
Yeah, I think with something like this, it's always going to be on both parties. It's always going to be part manager, part players, because Arteta can only do so much. What's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink, right? So he's doing what he thinks is best for the team. It's up to the players to actually take in what he's saying. Take in all the time spent training and to actually apply it. And you know what? They're doing a really good job at it. I mean, right now they're looking really good. It's going to come down to like you said, these next couple games, see what happens against the bigger opposition. I mean, we already see in the first half of the season. Yes, you guys are pretty much a different team now, but you guys already lost against City, Liverpool, and Chelsea.
Chelsea.
So we'll see what you guys do in the second leg of those.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing to share, like to think about it. To make Champions League, you don't really have to big the big 6 teams. You can, all you got to do is beat every other team. That's it. If you can manage to beat every other team and maybe skip a couple points from the big 6, you can get the Champions League.
You just got to be better than Manchester United. That's it.
Well, I mean, look, they're shooting their own selves in the foot, which we'll definitely get into that. But Arsenal 5, Norwich 0. Emil Smith throw off the bench again with another goal in insane form. Edgar said it, Saka looking better and better and better each single game as it goes by. All they got going into the team. The defensive line, I can't even, I'm at a loss for words how excited I am for them. But happy to see where we are now. Our game did get canceled against Wolves, which was yesterday, but we do go into the new year facing Manchester City. So that's going to be a rough one at the Emirates, but it's going to be an important one, especially for Man City and Arsenal, who are making the top 4 race, and Man City, who are trying to make that gap even bigger after Liverpool's result today, which we'll definitely get into. But speaking of Man City, they beat Leicester 6-3.
What a game.
There was a slight feeling of a comeback from the Leicester camp, but Pep does what he does best: just put their foot to your throats and just make you give up. And
Fucking Tillemans, man, what an idiot! Like seriously, how's he gonna cause 2 penalties? What a dumbass!
So
That's why he
overrated.
didn't play today. He is over. Well, he's overrated, dude. You were rating him like 4 weeks ago.
Oh, Tillman? No, I was never a fan of him. For 70 M's, he's huffing and puffing 90 minutes the whole time. There's this one clip against Aston Villa where I agree as well. There's like this one clip where he can't even like track back against Aston Villa like a couple years ago. He's like huffing and puffing. Nah, man. Yeah, man. That's why like a couple like episodes back, I was like, I don't think he'd cut it at like a top 14, like a Liverpool, Chelsea, United, City.
No.
He's a decent player for Leicester, but for 70 M's, and you're getting Tillemans, nah.
Yeah, that's where the price tag always kind of overshadows the actual player. You can get into plenty of cases about that.
He throws in a couple of world-class goals just to try to get you to gloss over the fact that
for the highlight,
he's not that great.
Yeah. But Man City continuing their dominance, 6-3. I think it's safe to say Pep is probably just the best coach ever to coach in like club football. That's it. It's just hard. It's hard to think of another manager who has revolutionized the sport so much.
He's done it every single different way.
And everybody's trying to follow it. Like he did it in Germany, and it's left this blueprint there, his imprint there. Barcelona obviously is an imprint in La Liga. And look at the Premier League now.
He's doing it without a striker, dude, and he just shut everybody up. And
he sold the striker on top of that.
I feel like the striker thing, like, they're still creating a huge amount of chances. And I feel like if you have a striker or not, you're still going to convert those chances most of the time.
So, is it... Do you guys just think that maybe his wingers are just as good as finishing than that strikers are?
No, because Sterling sucks.
Well, maybe not Sterling per se, but like other... Just look at their players,
They're not
man.
as clinical. They're not as clinical. They just create so many chances that... I mean, higher percentages of goals, right? Like, think about it. Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, who else you got? Gundogan, Mahrez, Sterling. If they each have one shot, at least, in a game, one of them is going in. And then if they all have multiple chances within one game, Forget it. It's going to be multiple goals.
All right.
Good point.
6-3, 4-0, 7-0, 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1. This doesn't sound to me like a team who's missing a striker.
It's not. It really isn't. They're just creating so many more chances. That's just it. Like, okay.
So you're saying
Sterling
that if
can
they get a
miss-
striker, they'll be at even a different level that we're seeing right now.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
scary.
If they pick up Holland, that's it.
Stop. Don't put that
That's
into the universe. That's my favorite player at the moment. If he goes anywhere that's not,
He's not going to Arsenal. He's not going to Liverpool. If he comes to the Premier League, he's going to Man City.
no, he's going to Real Madrid. If he goes to Real Madrid, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if he goes to anywhere else besides Real Madrid,
He's not going to Real
Arsenal,
Madrid.
that's it.
Mbappe's going to Real Madrid.
Stop. I'm upset now.
Point is, they're
They
just
can both go
unstoppable.
to Real Madrid.
Yeah, they both will. But whatever. So Man City 6, Leicester 3. Any final thoughts on that on Man City before we get into what is?
How do
they have
you
any
guys
games
feel
tomorrow?
about them winning the league before 2022?
You guys, so are you guys throwing the towel in right now? Is that what you're telling me? Like, dead ass, like as Liverpool fans, because I think
Bro,
Dad and I
I'm-
are pretty safe to say that we're not going to win the league this year.
We're losing Salah and Mane for a whole month, and it's not like they could have scored today anyway. So
Well, Mane won't be a miss, so won't be a big of a miss.
So wait, are you guys throwing the towel in right now? Is that what you guys are saying here on the podcast right now? That as Liverpool fans, you guys are throwing in the towel. Man City have won the league.
I'm saying that Liverpool likes creating stories, and a comeback story to win the league would be wonderful, but it's not in the bag at all. At least not for Liverpool. It's in the bag for Man City, right? So
isn't there? Is the ball's in their court?
the ball, it's on them to win it. Like legit, they could win every single game to the rest of the season, and they could lose against us and lose against Chelsea. Just worst case scenario, and they'll still win the league.
So there what? How many? Is there 6 points ahead of you guys right now?
Exactly.
Well, about to be 9 on New Year's Day. Nick, Nick.
It's definitely not impossible, but yeah, no, in my opinion, it's not even that big of a lead. It's like 6 points right now.
Yeah.
Liverpool have a
But
game
you-
in hand, and if they do win that game, it'll still be 6. But in my opinion, yeah, no, I don't think Liverpool win the league, and I predicted it before the season.
Do you see the Man City
yeah.
losing games? No, I see them
I do.
drawing maybe a game or two, right? But not losing 2 games.
I mean, to be honest, it's the Premier League. Like, and as much as everyone has said it, like anything can happen. They're not going to win every game from now on. There's no way they don't lose.
I don't see
once.
them drawing. I don't see them drawing 3 games.
Look, stranger things have happened. So never say never, especially in football. But this conversation, like, they're only 6 points ahead of us, and it's crazy because I look at Gat and I said to myself, like, we're out of the race already. Like, we're not even counting ourselves in here. This is a farmers league, and we just don't want to face it.
Man City made it a farmers league.
Because look, what did we always say about La Liga? It was always between Barca and Real Madrid. Once Barca got like a 6-point gap, 9-point gap, they won the league already. It's over because Real Madrid won't catch up. And what are we seeing now? Literally the same thing.
Yeah, it's gone the way of the German league where Bayern Munich wins everything, except that Man City aren't buying off the best players from every other team.
That's true.
Okay, Grealish maybe he got 1 from Aston Villa,
Still
but there's
flop.
no way Man City can buy up all the good players at Liverpool, all the good players at Chelsea. There's too many big teams, right, to buy them all from one team, right? So at the end of the day, Bayern Munich dominates that one league, and Man City's dominating the English Premier League. It's upsetting.
Damn.
That's why I'm satisfying for second place and winning the Champions League.
Wow. All right. So you're throwing eggs in that basket. All right. So we'll get into the Man City discussion for do you have any games for them? They will against Brentford tomorrow. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But West Ham lose to Southampton 3-2. So their top 4 race is starting to dwindle away. And we've kind of said it here before. They were going to burn out. It was kind of foreseeable, especially I think Antonio's out too now on top of that. So yeah, their fumes are running out. Any thoughts on that, guys? No. Yeah.
No, I
I
didn't
mean,
watch
Pretty
it.
upsetting.
Good on Bowen today. Though. You guys saw the game today. He put
Yeah.
in a shift today.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's talk
But-
about the game real quick. 4-1. It looked like Watford had like a slight chance of a comeback, but then West Ham just put it to bed. You said it yourself, Bowen. Wasn't there like a goalie mistake too?
I don't remember off the top
I
of my head.
forget.
I only
I thought it was
watched
the
part
fourth
of the
goal.
game. I hate
Oh,
midweek
okay.
games.
Yeah.
Watford's
But,
going
I
down,
mean-
dude. They're just done.
Watford. Well, let's look at the table real quick because Watford are in 17th. Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich are below them, and they're 2 points clear of 18th place at the moment.
I
I mean,
think-
look, they're right there. They're flirting with the line.
Newcastle is going to stay up.
You
Watford's
think?
going to go down. Yeah, because they're going to get some kind of
Don't
player.
put that out
Well,
there into the universe.
All right. Let's talk about Newcastle just real quick because I think it was Nick and I were talking about earlier, Joe Ellington, and he has been reborn.
Well, he got a new position, which probably should have been his position from the very get-go. Trying to put him
And-
as a striker was nonsense.
And Nick, what was your comment about Steve Bruce after that?
Not good.
Not good. Steve Bruce, I mean, yo.
No bueno,
Did
no.
you watch this game? This Everton game. I'm sorry, Newcastle game. Against United. We'll just jump right into that because Chelsea beat Aston Villa, Brentford 2-0, whatever. All right. Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
No,
I
you
watched
didn't
the
watch
first
the
half.
Newcastle United game?
No, I watched the first. I only watched the first half.
Can someone tell me why Varane is one of the best defenders in the world? Actually, Gak, can you
Alright.
explain to me how he's one of the best defenders in the
All
world?
right, before we start trolling him,
this is
before we start
I'm not
trolling
trolling.
him.
I'm not trolling. Am I trolling? I'm not
Before we
trolling.
start
That was
trolling you.
literally since I haven't been on this pod in like months, and all I could hear about at the
Yes.
beginning of the season, we got Varane. We're gonna win everything. He's gonna team up with Maguire. He's gonna make Maguire better. He's the best defender in the world. Can you explain to me why?
I mean, who are you listening to that said that? I didn't say that. But I mean, listen, he's a quality player. He just needs to focus on make sure he stays healthy. It was his first game back. Yeah, he had that mistake that led to the goal. But hey, listen, it's only his first game back, so we gotta just stay at it.
So, I really want your honest opinion here, and I'm trying to wrap my head around this because we were saying it was Mourinho a couple years ago, and then we were saying it's Ollie recently, and yet I don't see a change.
You also got to keep in mind it's only been what 4 games since Ralph took over, and then we've been gone for 16 days, which I was hopeful it would lead to more training, a lot
Look at
more time with
Spurs.
Ralph, and hopefully, right.
3-0.
But I mean, you can tell that the break just wasn't good for us. I mean, with the kind of players that we have, it's almost as if they benefit more from just continuous playing. Like if they have a game every other day, like you put them out there, and they'll probably benefit from that more than just taking a break in between. You get players like Cavani. He's been out for this entire time, and he comes back and he scores a goal. So you can see the difference he's going to make to the squad now that he's back and healthy. Hopefully he stays that way. I've been saying it from the start. I need a Cavani and Ronaldo pairing up top because that's
So
that's just going to be good.
That's where I wanted to question you because I don't feel like it's a coaching issue. I think it's a personnel issue.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree because we know Ralph's background. We know what he brings to the table, what kind of game he wants to play. So it's definitely on the players. They just need to just take it all in. It's not something they're used to, unfortunately. So
well, my question is, do you have the right players to build this team with?
Under Ralph, I think we do. We just need to get them more time to, get fit first and foremost. But with the players that we have, I mean, it's definitely something that they can work with.
I don't understand the 4-2-2-2-2.
I don't get it. It's pairs. It's apparently Sancho. It's a weird. I don't get it either. And once they did it, I thought Newcastle looked a little bit lost because I was a little bit lost. But then 5 minutes later, Manchester United looked more lost than Newcastle looked lost. It was just I didn't get it. I kind of want to talk about Cavani's goal because it was kind of a scuff shot, to be honest with you. So if you want to talk about it, it was kind of a lucky goal, but it goes a goal. Okay, they did it away.
Yeah, but he was in the right place at the right time. I mean, he knows the
And
position
that's
that
what
he's
the
got
job
to
is.
get in. That's the second time he got into that same position. The first time it was a Sancho cross, which was a great ball in by Sancho. He just scuffed it and it went wide. So he knows where he needs to be. Yes, he scuffed it. He got lucky with the deflection that it came right back on. But
so why is Sancho not starting? and McFred's back in the lineup.
Favoritism.
Is it favoritism or is it just like is it I don't know. I don't even know what it is, man. Like, maybe it is favoritism. You're right.
You know
that's
what's
the only thing I
crazy
can think
too?
about.
Like, it won't matter in 6 months because he won't be there anymore.
No, he's
But-
not getting a full-time job.
He's not being there, but who like look at the pattern that they're bringing in. Chris Armas, New York's Red Bulls coach, who did absolute dog shit here. The other guy who was also here at Red Bulls with him, and then I think went to I forget where he went. Then has
Toronto, I think.
nothing to show for. Like I'm pretty sure the next appointment is going to be Jesse Marsh to head coach, Manchester United. If it's following the Red Bull like pattern and track history and people who he's worked with, I'm pretty sure Jesse Marsh is going to be one of those names. And what has he done? Like, no, I look forward to him to coaching well, but he hasn't really done anything. So
Yeah, I mean, I can only hope for that. Excuse me. I can only hope that Ralph knows what he's doing and who he's appointing. I can only hope that the chemistry that he's had with them before will come into play and it makes things better. But I mean, we just got to see what happens. I mean, like I said before, it's only been his fourth game or so. I mean, he's still getting to know the players. He's always saying in his press conferences he's getting to know the players a lot more. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that these pairings are what we're seeing. But he's still trying to figure things out.
I'm still trying to see where this new manager bounce comes in though, because every team gets it for the most part. And again, I want to talk about the game real quick because Newcastle, you guys made them look like, oh my God, like
Newcastle were cheated, bro.
Yeah,
They should have won that.
He looked like Prime Vieira. I was like, who the hell is this guy right now?
You can tell we were gone for over 2 weeks with the performance we had.
That's not an excuse. I'm sorry. That's not an excuse. Spurs came back and won 3-0. That is not an excuse. Newcastle are the bottom of the league. You cannot tell me more time to study the opposition, rest your players, figure out formations and tactics is going to hurt you. I would agree with you if Spurs would have came back like just as dog water. But Spurs came back and won 3-0. And they're ahead of you guys now.
Yeah, today was definitely on the players. There wasn't enough discipline, mental discipline. They weren't making the right decisions. All across the pitch. So it was definitely on the players today. So hopefully they just get back on the training pitch.
How'd you feel about the Norwich game though? It's a pattern. It's not just one game. It's a pattern now we're seeing. Like every away performance is like, it's just like a team that doesn't want to be there. I don't know about the home performance because I still have yet to see how they're gonna perform against like a hard team. But Maguire's not it. First of all, Dalot, who we were giving a lot of praise to earlier, has looked like a ghost of himself already, and that's after 2 games. Dude, I really.
It was a nice ball in from Dalot though. For Cavani's goal.
I don't
think Pasaka would have gotten that clean of a ball in.
And Bruno, Nick.
Oh.
Give me your hot take on Bruno because we were talking about him and I want to hear what you have to say because I know you love your players and that's one thing about United fans I hate, which I'll be honest with you, is that you guys think you guys are perfect all the time and flawless and think every player is perfect, which it clearly is not. So Nick, I want to have you to give your hot take. Not saying I agree with it or disagree with it, but I want to hear what your thoughts are.
So before I go on to, and I can have a whole episode on this, my good friend Bruno. That front four of like Rashford, Bruno, Greenwood, and Ronaldo, like it is just like shooting. Like there is no ball retention. There's no like taking care of the ball. There's no receiving the ball and trying to look for a pass, but not just
Pogba.
Pogba, like he's not good either. Like
not for that team.
But like they need Sancho in there. Like it's kind of weird because we kind of like assume like Sancho flop, but like he's been kind of decent, man. But what he does offer is he keeps the ball pretty well, which Rashford and Greenwood cannot do. And the front four of that just will never work just because you'll never be able to keep the ball. When you don't keep the ball, you're just giving the ball to the other opposition, like what happened in this game. But Bruno Fernandes, oh man, I actually like. I kind of wanted him at Liverpool a couple years ago. and I feel like I've been kind of blinded by the numbers. As a number 10 for Manchester United, you cannot. I said in the group chat something about Portuguese players and them handling the ball like it's a fucking grenade. This guy, like, he's just not a number 10. Like when he plays a number 10 for United, but he doesn't play what an actual number 10 is. Like, for example, and this is not because Eric's on the pod, but look at Odegaard. He's a proper number 10, a classic number 10 who keeps the ball well, cares after the ball, and creates solid chances. The chances that Bruno creates is just long balls over the top. Just he plays hero ball. That's what I'm trying to say. He just plays hero ball. A good comparison is like Russell Westbrook in the NBA. But he just plays hero ball, man. And what I mentioned about him is just like ever since the system hasn't revolved about him playing hero ball, taking shots from 30 yards out, playing hopeless balls over the top of the defense, he just kind of looks lost, in my opinion. And that's not to say United needs to go out and get a new number 10 and suddenly replace him and he gets benched for his rest of the season and whatnot. But right now, looking at it right now, Bruno just doesn't offer what I'd want in the position that he plays. Yeah, man.
All right, but what position is that? Where is he on the field? Like, I was looking at the lineup the other day, and I know we're ranting on about Manchester United, like we're not all happy that they're dog water right now, right? But regardless, like I'm happy too, right?
Happy. I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fucking loving it, but I still don't get how a 4-2-2-2 is supposed to match up. It really does. It looks like a 4, 2 in the middle, and then a 4 straight.
It looks like a penis.
That's. I honestly don't get it. Like, it just looks like McTominay and Fred are supposed to cover any balls in the midfield while Rashford and Bruno Fernandes are pushing up.
And Rashford is somebody who I also think isn't getting the
he's not a midfielder
criticism he should be getting because he hasn't been doing absolutely nothing. And today was a big example of what happened with him. But Gat, talk to me what you think about Nick's thoughts, Edgar's thoughts. I know it's a lot of I know you want to defend you guys, but I want to hear you against the ropes right now.
It's definitely all valid points. You know, it's not something that I can really argue just because performances. I mean, everyone can see with what they're doing, what they're not doing, clearly. I mean, you know, Ralph did come in. Bruno has taken what looks like a different kind of role. He's not like Nick said, like it's not all revolved around him. Yes, you know, also because we did get Ronaldo, so now everything is going to shift because, you know, it is Ronaldo. Everything just has to go to him at some point. You know, it's mentally, I guess. I don't know where he's at in his head right now. I'm not sure what's going on. You know, I don't know if he still thinks that everything still has to go on his shoulders. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but he's definitely doing a little too much. I know Ralph's system does require a lot less of the ball because he wants to get rid of it quickly. I mean, but even today, just too many. There comes a point where there's just too many long balls. I mean, it's clearly not working. You got to try something else. You know, I think it's on the players to just realize that and, you know, try to make the change. You know, there's only so much Rock can do from the sidelines, and it's just it's all individual effort at this point.
So, I guess my real thought to this is, who is your ideal lineup and who are you dropping?
My ideal lineup. I would still keep the same back four we saw today. I would put. I mean, I've been saying this for a while. I would definitely throw Matic in there. That way, we have someone that can control the ball a little bit more defensively, as well. I would put either Fred or McTominay next to them just because of the lineup that Ralph plays, just where they would be on the pitch, or at least where they're supposed to be on the pitch. So I would put one of them there to help them out. That way, they can also be the ones that go a little forward to help out when needed. I would put, having Cavani on the squad, I'd still want Cavani and Ronaldo up top, and then underneath them, either. That's the problem, man. I know you've said it many times. We're just very top heavy, and it's getting to the point where we're gonna have to start thinning out the ranks, just so we can have, you know, a more playable squad and not have to worry so much about who the heck we're even gonna play. I would throw Bruno and either Van de Beek or Sancho right underneath Cavani and Ronaldo.
Forgot about Van de Beek already. Jesus. I'm
I mean,
really
I would
curious
definitely do that.
about
I mean,
that.
we have a talented team, or could be a talented team. So I mean, the players that we have. I mean, yeah, I left out Greenwood, I left out Rashford, but I mean, they could just as easily come on and make a difference at the end of the game, like Smith Rowe was doing for you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's in a run of good form right now, so that's a good form of a team, So it's different situations, but no, yeah, of course. I'm really curious to see how that Cavani Ronaldo pairing would look up top. Those are old legs are
Yeah,
up
I
there
mean,
running
I've been
for
saying
that
it from
press.
day
I don't
one.
know, man.
I've been saying it from day one. I mean,
You think
everyone
they
knows
can press
Cavani's
for
work
90
ethic, so
minutes?
we'll see. I mean, it's gonna take some work, but I mean, we know Cavani can press for 90 minutes.
It wouldn't
I
be
don't know. I don't
sustainable.
know.
Even when he's tired, he still gives it his all. So
I don't know. I think that's one video clip that we all saw that he made like a 30-yard dash across the field, and then everybody's like, "Oh, he does hustle a lot." So kind of like the whole Xavi, oh, he's the fucking next thing. He had one damn gameplay that we all saw. Speaking of Barcelona, how bad are they doing? Egor?
They haven't been playing. It's winter break. They play again on the second against Mallorca.
Are they still like in 8th place?
They're not top four. That's all that matters.
All right, so that is pretty much all we got for the game week that just passed this past weekend. We'll get into some of the games that happened today, and some of the games are going to happen for the rest of the week. So first one, we already spoke about Newcastle United, 1-1 there. Some big points dropped for United. Southampton, Spurs 1-1. Did I hit already? I'm lost right now. Where's my game
we
weeks?
just glossed over.
You're all over the place, man. It's just
Oh, here we
'cause
go.
it's been
Oh no, I
scattered
moved
everywhere.
results. Yeah, my fucking thing just moved and I lost all the games. Where are the games at? Oh, here they are. Okay, here we go. Crystal Palace beat Norwich 3-0. Watford lost to West Ham 4-1. Southampton Spurs. Yeah, I was fucking right, you liar. 1-1. Leeds Villa postponed.
Yep.
Leicester Liverpool. Probably the biggest game of the week, right? Yes, that is the biggest game of the week.
Yep.
All right. So if you want to get off now, I understand. I'm just kidding. Talk to me. How was how I texted you at the wrong time because as soon as this game is great. As soon as I texted him, 5 seconds later they scored a goal. I'm like, my bad.
Dude, Salah missed a penalty. Then he missed a goal, the follow-up. And then he missed another one after the follow-up. Like legit, he missed three goals. He missed 3 goals in about 5 seconds. What have I always said? Salah needs 4 to score 1. So after that, he didn't have another. That was it. He was quiet the rest of the game. Mane had a wide open net where he could have picked left, right, anywhere, and he chooses the crowd. He put it into the crowd. Jota, his head was, don't see that way, like twisted because he was putting it wide everywhere. And then we kept bumping into each other in the box trying to win headers. Like Matip took 1 or 2 off of Firmino. Mane took 1 off of Jota. It's just insane, right? We were crowding the box. And then today we got exposed with Trent defensive faults. And it wasn't because Trent wasn't in the right position. He didn't put the effort in to follow up with Lookman. And Henderson got, going back to what Nico said, that Henderson isn't playing the cover for Trent as much anymore, right? But that's just more responsibility on Trent to cover up his man, to follow up with his man. And he didn't. So Hendo should have maybe tried to follow up on the pass to the assist, right? And then Trent should have followed up with Lookman. And then on the defensive side, Van Dijk tried to cover the far post, which, okay, and Allison gets beat at the near post. And now we're all saying that Allison is one of the best goalkeepers in the world because he has great one-on-one saves. But this is the second week or the second game in a row that he's got a mistake.
Yeah, he should
like
have saved that.
honestly,
You're right.
he at his near post, you see Van Dijk's covering the angle.
That's
just
fair.
one more step to the left and you cover it, right? Block it with your leg, block it with your knee. That's one thing that I gotta give De Gea. He at least puts his foot in the way, right? And then what did he do against Tottenham? He completely woofed it and Son tied it up, right? He had great saves that game, but it just took one mistake that he's apparently been having every game to fucking get tied up or lose. And that's just it. I mean, I got nothing more to say. Like I was looking forward to that game to make me feel better. Now it's like fuck. I got Chelsea on Sunday, and that one's gonna be it's not looking good. And then after that, Mane and Salah leave, so we're fucked.
Yeah, and Leicester were you could tell there were tired legs out there, man. And I'm surprised that Vardy. Well, I thought Vardy was hurt for a second, but then he fucking looked fine 10 seconds later. I fucking know.
They were milking it, man. They were
They
making
were.
time, and honestly, I don't blame them. Like with so many games and how it goes down, like yeah, make the time up. I mean, it was on Liverpool's fault for letting them, get the win. So now they're gonna burn time. It's like I would have done the same thing if I were on Leicester's team. Fucking burn up as much time as you can, but they did it the right way. I mean, they just got spanked 6-3 in a game that's like a fucking Boxing Day classic. It's like, and then they come back and beat us. I mean, what does that tell you? Man City spanked them 6-3. They beat us 1-0, and we're second place.
I mean, Nick, what does that say to you? I mean, to me, it looked like a FIFA game where everything was going your way, but you just couldn't get the goal in, and it just took one counterattack.
DDA at the wrong time.
DDA, yeah, exactly. It was always against you guys since the blow of the whistle. But yeah, how do you feel about that?
About the game?
Well, yeah, Edgar says, it kind of shows where you guys are. You guys, this is a game where you guys should get points, and everybody was expecting a hammering. Everybody was.
Yeah, I did as well.
It just didn't come out to be, Well, how did it? I guess what's your reaction to the game first, and then we'll break it down.
Yeah. I feel like I can't really discuss about like the actual like state of the game and what happened in the game, just because I feel like I've gone over like a lot in past games where Liverpool maybe have dropped points, like some of the points that Edgar mentioned, the missed chances and whatnot, some of the defensive like frailties that maybe the midfield and defense maybe can't cover, and certain times, like I've always mentioned, transition defense. But I feel like on this one, I like to focus more on players, especially Mane, just because I just feel like he just hasn't been as effective. It was just pretty much clear as day. Like I'm pretty sure he has 7 goals in the Premier League, which is pretty decent. It's honestly not that bad. And I see like people saying his underlying numbers are well, whatnot. But if you just judge it based off the eye test, he just hasn't been performing as his self 2 years ago, which is, it happens, players decline. Maybe he has long COVID, maybe he does not, but I don't know. It just the front three just doesn't click when he's on the pitch right now. It's just I feel like he's trying to do too much just because he's lost that extra yard of pace. So he's just trying to compensate. Was trying to take players on and whatnot, because a couple seasons ago he just tapped the ball over the player and just run after it. Kind of like what Tsimikas did a lot this game. He just kind of tapped the ball a lot and then just run after the ball and get past the player. Mane can't do that anymore. It just kind of hampers the team at times. That's why I kind of mentioned I'd like to see front three of Jota, Firmino, Salah, which is the same front three that scored 5 goals against United away at Old Trafford. It just carved the midfield open like it was literally nothing. I just feel like that midfield it can keep the ball a lot better, especially in tight areas as well, just because Mane, especially this past couple of years, he hasn't been able to keep the ball in tight space as well. Jota and Firmino can, especially Firmino. And we all mentioned Firmino, his link-up play is phenomenal. His hold-up play is phenomenal. When it comes to that, maybe not on the other terms of like striker and finishing and whatnot. But with him and Jota, they kind of have a pretty decent connection because they played Leicester last week in the League Cup, and they played actually pretty well together. They're able to link up with each other pretty well, and it's kind of like interesting just because they're like completely different players. Jota's a poacher, Firmino's the one who kind of jobs deep, obviously, and make sure things is like tied up and whatnot between the midfield and the attack. But yeah, man, just like there's like a couple players in the midfield and the attack would just kind of look like weak links in my opinion. Yeah, man. Yeah. I kind of want to focus that on like Mane.
I'll be honest, I'm underwhelmed by our bench. Like Naby Keita for me has just it's been a flop. He's been a flop. Right? He got subbed on and he didn't do anything. He didn't change the game. Milner came on and did more than he did. You know what I mean? Milner was putting in crosses. He was winning tackles. And again, Milner's not one that I want to be subbed on to change the game, right? He's the one I want to be thrown on to shore up the win or shore up the tie, right? Not one to go after the game, right? And then another thing that drives me nuts is they know our tactic. They know that Samikas or Trent is going to go to the end line and put it back in, cut it back into the middle, cut it back to the penalty spot, and someone's going to go and tap it in, and they block that every single time. Or it's going to be a chip to the far post, and they block it every single time. Why don't those guys just shoot at goal? And I know it's probably coming for Klopp, so I'm blaming Klopp on this, but there was one where Samikas could have just shot straight at Schmeichel, right? Just do it once. Do it twice, and then it'll make the goalie doubt, like, oh shit, is it going to be a chip? Is it going to be a cross, or is he going to shoot? Do I need to watch my near post? It won't be so easy. Milner had another one where he tried to put it in. There was like 4 defenders and 1 striker for Liverpool. There was no chance that it was going to be blocked, that it was going to be a goal, right? But what happened the other time, last game for Leicester, someone put it across the front of the box, real deep cross, very hard, almost at goal. Schmeichel dove out, bounced into the middle, and then they scored. Right? So just shoot at the goalkeeper if you're at a tight angle on the side. It drives me nuts. I don't know why they just don't shoot, but it's something that Robbo does. It's something that Trent does. They always put it back into the middle. And I get it, but I don't know. I'm upset. COVID doesn't help it either.
I can tell, man. I mean, this is like the way you guys describe it. It feels like the league was just kind of lost here in a way.
But we lost the league here. That's how it feels. That's why I'm upset.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy to say because Man City are just so good that although Nick says it's impossible, I think it's very, very, very possible they go undefeated.
There's how many games left? 18?
Well, they've already lost 2 games.
So
and it was at the beginning of the season when they were trying to figure out how to play without a striker. Now
to be fair, they lost against Palace, if I'm not mistaken, the back end of October. Or beginning of
drew
November.
that game, I thought. Wasn't it 2-2?
No, they lost. It was 2-0.
Oh, that
for
was
red card.
Yeah.
Zaha.
That's really the worst.
But I mean,
honestly,
Man City are just so good that this game does seem like it could be just the final drop in the bucket to cost you guys the title. But we'll see what happens. Now it's just a matter of keeping the race tight. And Chelsea play tomorrow against Brighton to keep that race tight. You guys, I believe I tried to put Chelsea now 41-41, right?
Well, we are. If they play tomorrow and win,
so they play tomorrow.
They'll be ahead of us.
Draw, they'll be ahead of you guys. You guys are with them being third. Wow, damn, bro, that just like that the table's changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So we'll see Chelsea Brighton tomorrow. What do you guys? It's at Stamford Bridge. This sounds like another day in the effort for Chelsea. Lukaku is back. I can see this being a solid 3-1 win for Chelsea at home.
I agree.
Gotta go 2-0. What I have to say about like Chelsea right now, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'd love to see like a steady, stable lineup from now on from Tuchel. Like I'd like to see like a steady back 3 where he consistently picks 3 players. Like for example, Arsenal, Gabriel, Ben White, Liverpool, Van Dijk, Matip, Man City, Ruben Diaz and John Stones. I kind of want to see, if I'm a Chelsea fan, maybe Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, and then that constant pivot of maybe Jorginho and Conte. Especially in the front 3 where I've kind of mentioned before, I think Hudson-Odoi and Lukaku are like must starters, even though if they're not performing as well as maybe I have, because I kind of rate Cho a little bit more. Like I kind of rate him pretty high, to be honest. I think he's pretty talented. But from now on, like from right now, he hasn't played well that much. With Lukaku as well prior to the scoring against Villa. But I just think Tuchel just needs to get his consistent starting 11, just because I mentioned a couple weeks before, like although I do like when he plays players on form, I kind of mentioned with Marcos Alonso, Ben Chilwell, but also doesn't help at times just because with rhythm. I mean, you need rhythm to win games, man, especially if you're challenging for a Premier League title. Yep. If you have a consistent 11, once those players just keep playing, no one wants to play. Damn it.
Then how does Pep do it and rotate all those guys? Like
he keeps them hungry. He keeps them hungry.
How does he keep them hungry?
Because Pep's depth is so much better than Chelsea's. Chelsea's depth isn't good. They just have a million players, but they're not good. Like Saul isn't good. Ruben Loftus-Cheek isn't good. Hakim Ziyech isn't good. But they just have a million players that just helps with other competitions to ease that pressure in the league.
Competition within positions. That's all. Like for example, like you mentioned Robbo and Tsimikas. Like those are 2 great defenders who could very well be starting either one. They're definitely pushing each other, and Klopp is keeping them hungry. Just like that, he's keeping at least those 2 hungry. Pep is keeping the whole Man City team hungry.
Yeah, exactly. There's one spot that's being challenged for, right?
Yeah,
On
but
Liverpool's team,
they
but on
have
Man
every
City's team,
position,
every position is being challenged for.
and that's what he
Like
created. The environment. That's a culture he created.
that's insane.
That's credit to
That's
him.
insane.
That's credit to Man City. But back to Chelsea. Yeah, consistency, rhythm. It's a key thing, especially as of late, since they've been looking a little bit more lackluster. So they should definitely they gotta find their best 11 and stick with it. Maybe not, you know. I still want to see a creative player there. I feel like they don't have that. I feel like Mason Mount is that guy, but not that guy at the same time.
He's not that guy.
You're not that guy, bro. You're not
He's
that
not
guy.
that guy.
But I feel like they need that once they get that creative player and kind of start shying away from the three in the back, it's just gonna unlock Lukaku a little bit more. But we'll see. I mean, yeah. How do you have this game going, Gat?
I mean, honestly, this might be a closer game than you think, just because of the way Chelsea been playing. We're starting to see what the actual Chelsea team is probably going to look like. And Brighton are no pushovers, so I mean, it's probably be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 1-0 either way, but I'm going to still say Chelsea wins it 1-0.
Okay. All right. Next we got Brentford hosting Man City. Are we gonna be expecting an upset?
No.
2-1 City.
Nope. All right. Looks like a unanimous vote here on the bench. Everton Newcastle postponed. Manchester United Burnley. Is there any? I mean, Burnley are what 19th place in the league right now. United are at home where they're comfortable playing. How do you feel this game going? Do you have any kind of fears from the aftershocks of this past result?
No, considering what just happened, I would hope that that's reason to bounce back. And Ralph's the kind of guy that he would see this performance and he'll just completely swap out the entire starting 11. So
I hope so.
You know, I honestly at this
hope
point, but because of the result, they're going to be hungry to just bounce back because that was just not it. So
let me ask you
Burnley.
Before you get into the actual game, because before you get the result, I just it's been going around the socials. I'm sure you saw it. What's your take on the whole body language situation at Manchester United? How every time something doesn't go Ronaldo's way, he's throwing his arms in the flare. Same thing with Bruno Fernandes.
I mean, it's Ronaldo. I mean,
but the fact that Gary Neville, who's like an ex-teammate and shared the locker room with the guy, that does carry some weight. Don't you think that affects the younger players in some way?
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, I know there was also an instance where in that very game, Diego sent to me. I don't remember the exact moment because I didn't watch the game at all, unfortunately. But there was a part where Rashford just wasn't on that night, and there was a point where he missed pretty badly or something happened, and Cavani was the only one that actually ran up to him and tried to console him and try to tell him, hey, listen, keep going, it's okay, it happens. So it's on the other side of it, with Ronaldo doing that, Bruno doing that, yes, of course it's going to affect them. I mean, they're both passionate, whether it's good or bad, depending on what the situation is. So it definitely affects them. We need more like actual leaders like a Cavani that are, no matter what's going on, no matter how you feel, you got to table what you feel and you got to help everybody else.
Money.
So it absolutely does affect everybody.
That's a very good point. You want somebody that put the arm on the shoulder for you because and look, we wouldn't be sitting here if we weren't here to troll each other every now and then, right? And one thing I did enjoy was all the banter that Ronaldo's been getting. I think Bruno too. I'm not sure though, for not clapping the away fans and just walking away in the tunnel, out of pure frustration. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually leave this on the table for you and let me know if it's something that you'd pick up and run with, or are you gonna drop it like it's a hot stone? Drop Ronaldo, put in Cavani.
I'm never opposed to those kinds of moves because listen, if it's not working, you gotta find something that does. And the way Pep's doing it at City, if that starts happening here and that forces players to step up and try to be better, then go for it.
Man, I would love to see that. Yeah, that'd be. I want to see. I want to see his reaction after that. But yeah. So yeah, you guys are at home against Burnley. How do you see this game going for you guys? Again, you seem pretty confident going into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be anyway, just because of the result that happened. But at the end of the day, yes, Burnley's bottom of the table, but they are still the cunts that we all hate. So
Yeah.
we'll see how what ends up happening. We all know how they're gonna play. It's just a matter of can we pick that apart, and I'm hoping we do. And the fact that we're at home should hopefully help. If Cavani starts, he definitely gets another goal. I would say this game goes 2-0.
No. All right. 2-0 to the Red Devils, Edgar.
Oh, it's gonna go 3-0 to the Manchester United.
Oh, wow. All
I
right.
got no
Nick?
hope for Burnley. Yeah, no hope.
Yeah, 2-0 United.
Yeah, a solid victory. I think there will be a goal leaked here, but a solid victory for United. And that wraps up this game week. That ends on Thursday, and then we will be back then and give you the games for the new year. So we will definitely be speaking to you before then. With all that being said, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, sir.
No, Edgar, feel better. We're all here for you, Ben.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Hopefully,
I
I didn't catch COVID when I was with you either. Nick, hope you're safe as well. Gat, be safe. Everybody else, be safe. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. As always, we're the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.
Deuces.